Welcome back to the Roots of Ambition podcast, baby. This is Danny,
Angel.
man, and today you guys see me all over Instagram and TikTok, and there's a special somebody that's always making me look good, dog. My brother,
Miracle Maker.
my brother Ricky in the building, baby.
Ricky.
Having me. Thank you for having me.
Man, of course.
Long overdue.
Long overdue for sure.
We should. We've been talking about doing this a while
That's what
ago,
I'm
bro.
saying. We've been talking about this since like episode 15. So
So you're always here. You're just behind the
Yeah,
scene, right? It's always.
but I'm everywhere like air. Sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm not. Doing my own thing too.
I'm there.
You guys keep me busy, so I'm grateful.
Yeah, come on, man. Hey, you're a big part of what we do, bro.
Yeah.
And we just getting started.
Amen to that.
Hey, why don't you introduce yourself real quick? All the people that don't know who you are, never seen you on our platform, let them know, baby.
So my name's Ricky. I go by Ricky the Strategist, aka the 510 Shooter.
Pretty Ricky, what they call him.
Yeah, Danny calls me Pretty Ricky. People call him handsome. You know, we're a
That's
dynamic
right,
duo.
baby. Come on now.
I do all of Danny's content. I do a lot of content for other people. You know, I'm a content strategist. So I went from videographer to content strategist, and now, you know, just opening up new doors to be able to venture into new business plans. So whatever Danny's got going on, I want to be a part of it. Same thing with Angel. Whatever you guys got going out there, if you need my help, content strategy, video work, photo work, just making you look good, you know? I mean,
This guy.
Ricky's the man.
Good I do it. So
Sexy, dog.
that's the one requirement. As long as he looks good, he don't care how he sounds.
I do have one question. When you're shooting with them, do you have to get an extra wide lens?
Actually, if you look at my camera over there, yeah, behind the scenes over here, it's as wide as it gets, but I'm at least 50 feet away.
Hey,
so.
friends like these, who needs enemies, dog?
No, but it's nice that when we came together, we met because of Danny's daughter. Me and her were friends from our church, and it's nice that with a friend like her, I was able to make friends with Danny, and now I got a friend for life, business partner for life. You know, we've helped each other grow exponentially, and now I've met people like Angel, and now we got things like this going on. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys have been here from the beginning to see what it started as and where it's at now. You know, there's a whole production going on here.
Right.
I commend you guys for what you guys do, because I know what I do isn't easy, but you guys are taking it to a whole new level with doing this weekly, monthly, you know, and I remember when you guys first started and all the aspirations you guys had and all the prayers behind it, and now you guys are living in those answered prayers. So I'm excited to see where it heads for all of us, because, you know, we're doing big things.
Yeah.
There's big things coming
Boxing
for sure.
events, you know, we're meeting up with a lot of food people.
Yeah.
Trying to get into more athletic stuff too. I want to get us into some rooms with some baseball, football, basketball.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
I see a lot of growth for us in the future. But yeah, I mean that's what I do. I help them look good, and I can make y'all look good.
Man, hey, you got to definitely reach out to Ricky. Pretty Ricky is great. He's got a lot of ideas. He's got a lot of visions. He can help point you in the right direction, or if anything, give you some great advice.
Yeah.
Right. And boy, most importantly, he makes this look real good, dog. So hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah. That sounds
well.
Hold on.
No homo, dog. No homo.
No, there was a big smirk behind that.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, but I was like, you know, I'm gonna peel back that one.
Okay.
Where does your ambition come from, bro?
You know, I always tell people, like, everything that I've done in my life has came from one root, and that's my family. I'm very family oriented, and I could trace it all the way back to my mom and my dad. You know, my mom and my dad haven't been together since I was like 2 years old, maybe 3 years old, but they've had the best relationship being co-parents, and it's because of them that I've gotten to where I'm at. You know, my dad supplied the stability growing up where I never had to worry about clothes on my back or food on the table, and I lived with my dad most of my life, but, you know, I'll go back and forth with my mom. But being around my mom really inspired me to be super creative and kind of jump into things that were uncomfortable for me. So I grew up an athlete. I played baseball and football, and because of baseball and football, I learned how to be a hard worker. I learned how to work with teams, everything like that. But what it couldn't teach me was how to think outside the box. And those times where I would be with my mom, for those who don't know, my mom is a singer, an artist, and I grew up going into the studio with her, going to music video shoots, and doing creative things around her, and even as small and as big as picking the beats for her. You know, like there's a history behind all the stuff that I I do now, and my ambition really comes from my bloodline. So, I mean, for most people know I'm Filipino too, from my mom's side, and Filipinos we either have to be creative, got to be able to sing, or we're either gonna be a nurse or a mailman.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't see myself carrying mail or saving people's lives. I don't do well with blood. So,
Yeah. Fair enough.
I picked up, and I'm super thankful that I have the ambition and the drive that I have because it came from both of my parents and those who helped raise me too. You know, it took a village to raise me. My mom had me at 17 years old.
You're young.
Super young.
Young. I mean, you know what that's like being a young parent. And I mean, as a kid, you know, you don't really know what you're living in and how young your parents are for somebody like
because that's all you know.
But I'm sure little Danny can attest to it. Like, dang, my parents got it out the mud. Like they had no choice but to raise me with a village.
He saw it all, bro.
Yeah, we saw the best and the worst side of our parents, and that's another thing I'm grateful for is my ambition comes from my siblings too. I'm the oldest of 6, so I carry a lot on my back. You know, I am the example. You know, it's one thing to look up to your parents.
You have to set that bar.
Yeah, I set the bar for what they can achieve based on being in the same generation as them. I got siblings all the way from 19 years old down to 7 years old.
Wow.
So, I mean, every step that I take is influencing them in their lives, and
watching what they do.
It just means so much to me because, like, I mean, I've heard it countless times from each of them how much what I do means to them, or how from their friends how cool I am, or whatever, you know. And I live with this internal thing called imposter syndrome sometimes.
Yeah.
So I don't know how familiar you are with that, but sometimes it feels like I'm out of place, like I don't belong where I'm at, or I'm not supposed to reach the goals that I'm supposed to reach based on the outcomes and circumstances I've seen growing up. Like I said, I had a stable life growing up, but the fruits that came from my parents, they came from nothing. So, I mean, I'm super blessed to be where I'm at just because of my family, and that's what drives me every day to keep going.
You're a very creative guy. Do you think that is a muscle that you can exercise and learn, or is that something you're just born with?
I think that some of it is a gift from God. You know, I think that I've been blessed with gifts that not everybody can be blessed with. I think our eyes are a very strong tool that not everybody utilizes enough. You know, I feel like how you see the world can really shape how you live in it.
100%, bro.
And I see the world in a total different light than I did for, I'd say, the first 19 years of my life. I'm going on 25 next month, and for the first 19 years of my life, I saw everything as a very straightforward person, stay in the rat race, just work hard. When I turned about 19, 20 is when I kind of got my first taste of freedom on my own. I moved away from home, from my dad's side, and moved up to where my mom was at. I went to college, and, you know, I got a taste of freedom, and I just ran wild with it. So that it opened up my creative abilities by me seeking that freedom. So I started to exercise that muscle at that time. I think that I was born with gifts. I think that everybody's born with certain gifts. But to exercise them, you have to also put yourself in the right rooms around the right people. And I think that exercising it doesn't mean just doing it. So I think, yes, you can exercise your creative muscle, but I think that also comes from being amplified by the people around you.
Yeah, you need to inspire that muscle too, right? Like you gotta be around other creatives so that you can inspire your own creativity.
Yeah, I realize, like, you look at anybody who's successful in this world beyond what the average person can fathom, they have a team around them. Everybody plays their position, you know, and each person on that team will inspire them to be better in a different area, or they'll pick up that slack. And I think that's where a lot of my creative muscle has been exercised, is being uplifted and dragged upward by the people that are, I wouldn't say necessarily more gifted than me, but they are more experienced or have more wisdom than me. I learned, shout out to my stepdad for this, I used to go to Bible studies that he would start with him and his friends, right?
Oh, right on.
And he checked me one day. He basically pulled me aside, and he's not the type to like pull you aside and have like a deep conversation with you, but he pulled me aside and was just like, "Hey, bro, like some of the guys are noticing like sometimes you talk more than you listen." And I was like, you know, I realize that. I realize that. I can own that. I can own that. But ever since that day, you know, it's always been in the back of my head, like, listen more than you speak, because wisdom is right in front of you, but you have to take it, not always try to give it. And I feel like I have a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience, and I try to give it out, but there's time and a place for that, and that's a big part of my creative muscle too. Is just sitting back and observing, sitting back and listening, and soaking in what people are offering, rather than trying to be the guy in the room and tell everybody everything. Yeah. So to sum up your question, yes, you can exercise your creative muscle, but I also think that some of it is just a God-given talent, because we're all given different gifts and different responsibilities in this world.
God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Listen more than you talk, bro.
Exactly.
I always tell my kids that.
Yeah. It's a. I mean, like I said, I'm only going on 25, but sometimes I try to give myself more credit than I think I should. I've learned a lot and seen a lot in the short time that I've been in the, I guess, creative business world, and I've learned more from listening to people and watching them than trying to be the big guy in the room. Because I always thought, like, as a creative, you have to step up and be that guy in the room so you can stand out in front of people. But I realized, like, no, your talents will stand out for themselves. You don't need to speak about it. You don't need to stand up for yourself, because your work will speak for itself.
But sometimes you got to be loud.
Sometimes, well, but that's what you're saying is the right place, right?
Yeah.
There's situations where you do need to be loud.
When is the right time to be loud? What does that look like to you guys? Because to me, I'm a very passive person. I don't like conflict. I don't like confrontation. I'm always the type, like, I'll defend myself if it comes time to for confrontation or an altercation over my business, over my family, over me, or whatever. But I'm not the type to go, like, stepping on toes.
Yeah, but I think, for example, like when we were at this last event, right? Like, we're kind of like there. We'll do whatever you guys need us to do. Right. When they ask us, hey, can you guys do the announcement? That's the time to turn it on. Like, we're not gonna shy away from it.
Yeah.
And I seen you do the same thing. We're like, okay, it's on. Let's do it. I think
it's my turn to go.
I think my first time experiencing,
tell them when to go. Tell them when to go.
Okay, San Diego.
Can't take me nowhere, dog.
I think my first taste of realizing that, like, I know when to turn it up and, like, really get in my element was when we went to San Jose together to the Con Azucar Cafe. And Doris put me on the spot and was like, I want to interview you. And I was like,
oh, I saw.
I was like, let me lock in prepare for this really quick. Doris, thank you for doing that, because I needed that. I needed to step out of my comfort zone, which all you creatives out there, step out of your comfort zone. You know, even if you're not prepared to be on camera, be ready to look stupid. It's okay to look stupid because that's part of the growth process. And I wasn't ready for that. But when I did it and I watched it back after, I was like, okay, I was built for this. Like, I can do this.
Come on, dog. Let's go. Hey, bro. You're 20. You're 25. Or you're gonna be
about
25.
25.
So a lot, man. That's the one thing that I mean, we all have a lot to learn. But the cool part I love about hanging out with you is that you're younger and you see the world in a different way, right? And I tell people all the time, man. Like I tell people all the time, bro. If you get to the point where you feel you cannot learn anything because you know everything,
you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. You're gonna lose.
Trouble.
And that's why I love to hang around younger folks, bro, because I really believe the older folks should hang around younger folks to understand the way the world is going, right? How they think, how they look at the world, their opinions, whether if we agree with them or not, right? Yeah. It's just learning their perspective in this new world, right? So like hanging out with you and hanging out with Carly and my Bella, I love hanging around their friends. Like they look at me sometimes like I'm crazy, but I like to hear like what they're talking about, what they think about, what's going on, how they see the world, their opinions, right? When it comes to social media, whether if it's TV or a movie star or school or just the way everything is, bro, I learned so much, right? And it makes me, like, how can I get what they're doing and adapt it to what I need to do to grab a wider audience, right? How do I need to talk? What do I need to talk about, right? And being around you especially has taught me so much in that perspective, bro. Big time, dude.
I think there's a really, really big lack of curiosity in this world.
Oh, man.
That's the perfect word, yeah.
Because of social media being so easily accessible, you can access what's going on around the world now. Right. Before, you had to go see it yourself. You had to read it in a newspaper or a magazine, or like go out of your way to make an effort to do something. Now you could look something up in an instant, just little 2-minute search, and find exactly what you're looking for, and get that dopamine hit that you're looking for. But I think the lack of curiosity is what, going back to what you were talking about with the creative muscle, curiosity, I think, is the biggest part of that. That's the blood flow to the muscle. I think is curiosity. If you don't have curiosity, you don't have creativity. And one thing that I want to really encourage all you creators to do is to just go be curious and also question everything. You say it all the time. Ask questions.
Ask questions.
It's okay to look stupid when you ask a question because you're gonna look great later when you have the answer.
100%.
Oh, you picking up what I'm putting down, dog. All right.
I mean, I guess it was you. I give you your
I never get no love, dog.
No, but that's a great point because I think right now, especially we're on the age of AI, and so yeah, you can easily search that. So, but it's kind of a little bit of a trap because you can do a quick 2-minute search that gives you the headline of what the subject's about, but you never really looked into it. You just asked a dumb question and it spit a dumb answer. And I think when you're curious, you're able to you ask the right questions that get you to a deeper knowledge because then you look at, because you can look at that and be like, what is this? What is really behind this? And you dig deeper into it, then I think as AI becomes more and more, because I've been saying this since 2 years, AI is gonna be in everybody's desk. Personal AIs are coming. Like they'll be here in the next year. Yeah, but as far as like mass, right now everybody's doing like their own stuff. There's a few companies, startup companies, but in a year to 2 years, this is just gonna be everybody's gonna have a personal
It's
AI.
gonna be a part of our currency too. There's a whole thing going on with the blockchain and all these other cryptocurrencies and other stuff. And like cryptocurrency, that sounds super like old age, but there's a lot of stuff where AI is about to be implemented, and it's kind of scary if you ask me. Like there's a lot of stuff that's like up in the air, and we're just kind of like we're stuck. We don't have a choice. We're just rolling with the punches.
But that's why being curious is gonna become a skill, because that's the one thing that the AI cannot replicate. It can only basically grab on information and questions that already been asked before.
Yeah,
it cannot ask unique questions, and that comes from human curiosity. And so as long as we keep exercising that, we will be good.
It's just a learning machine. It just stores everything you talk about. Like it can remember something I talked about 6 months ago just because it stores it in the database.
Right.
And it doesn't think like a human being because it's not a human being. A human being has curiosity, like we talked about, and it can form a thought process that goes many different ways. Versus the AI, it's all code. It's just zeros and ones.
What's your take as far as AI in schools and colleges, like being used versus, because in a lot of schools, like the students are not supposed to use it, but we all know they're all using it. So what are your thoughts from your perspective? Because I've asked that to several people.
Just like with all technology, I look at it as like the world's going to move forward whether we like it or not, and you can either get with it or get left behind. I'm not the biggest fan of AI, especially being an artist or a creator or whatever you want to call me. I use it as a tool, but some people use it as a crutch.
Right.
I think that it becomes a problem when you start using it as a crutch and it does more of the work than you do.
Just like everything else, right?
Yeah. But that's no different to me. AI is no different to me than back when we went from pagers to cell phones and from cell phones to having iPhones come out. Like there's a process, and generations are gonna complain. There's gonna be people who love it, people who hate it. But at the end of the day, people are gonna adapt to it whether they like it or not. I think there is a benefit to it, though. I think that if used the right way, it can be very beneficial to students, to teachers, staff, whoever. But I don't see it working out how we want it to work out. I just see it being used and abused.
I think my take on it will be that, like, you should allow students to use it, but you need to upgrade the curriculum where the homework or the work that you're doing, you can accomplish it by yourself. You need AI skills, and even the AI by itself can't do it. So you need to basically the level of education that we're doing has to be at a higher level, because now you have this tool you're using. So the way I like to think about it is like, well, my grandparents didn't have a calculator, and then the calculator was a thing, and then I'm old enough. When I was in Mexico, when I was in middle school, you were not allowed to use a calculator. Now everybody uses it, And what they did is they moved the curriculum up where now the math problems you're doing are not something you can just do in your head. It's a lot more complicated where you need a calculator. So the same idea is like, okay, we'll make it more complicated where you need an AI to finish the the thing they're trying to teach you, and now you just up the level of education. It's just the tool.
I think it will progress education forward, but I also think that it's going to create a lot of kids who become lazier too. I mean, not that there's not already lazy kids,
but those kids were gonna be lazy no matter what, right?
So that's where I'm going with it. So I think that no matter what, you're going to have the same outcome regardless of what tools we're given. As human beings, you're going to have the ones that excel with it, and you're going to have the ones that fall behind because of it. And you can't blame the tool. That's like blaming the gun for shooting somebody. Somebody's still got to pull the trigger. So you either use the AI or you don't, but whether you get left behind or not is really totally on you. And I think it's gonna create a bigger margin. That's the only difference now is that the margin's gonna be greater between
the gap is gonna be bigger.
And the people who are dumb.
That you're very right. It will create a way bigger because if you're gonna be able to just take off over your peers if you're putting and that's why the basics are more important than anything right now, right? Like so discipline, curiosity, like all of those things are gonna matter.
Well, the biggest one is what we're doing right now is conversation.
Yeah.
Like there's so many kids, especially your age, that don't do that, bro.
No.
You know,
It's all through text.
I was at a coffee joint the other day. Forgot where I was at, but this young dude and this beautiful young woman, they're probably like same age, right? And the dude sat maybe like 5 minutes after he sat down, didn't even attempt to strike a conversation with her, bro.
They're both on their phones.
They're both on their phones.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like to me, I was always like, "Hey, how you doing, girl? What's your name? You know,
Yeah.
Let's at least talk. You know what I mean?
Allegedly,
yeah.
Allegedly.
She knows, but you know, what I mean, like that's the one thing though, bro. Like,
Yeah.
the AI is really gonna, bro. I mean, it's already happening, bro. Like, people don't know. These kids don't know how to have a conversation.
But I don't think that is the AI itself. I think it's the current culture. But yes, it's gonna make it worse. Yeah.
100%.
But you know what? I'm not gonna complain about it because as long as it's not the people in my circle, they can do what they want. It's not gonna affect my life, other than if you're the one serving me wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
But I pray for those people that they find curiosity and that there's somebody that inspires them in their life. Because there's nothing more sad than somebody who wasted potential, not using their gifts. Because there's a lot of people like that too. Like you said, that don't know how to have a conversation or talk. But I've met people like that don't know how to have a conversation or talk, but they're very gifted in some area.
Right.
But because they're not around people that can amplify that, it's wasted potential.
Help them pull it out.
And it's
and so in that case, the AI helps.
Yeah.
Right, because if you have the talent and don't just know that you don't know where to start, because some people don't have the support, but you already have the God-given talent. I think AI can push you along and get you to the right spot.
There's already AI companions out there.
Dude, there's AI girlfriends.
I think that's pathetic to me.
That is.
AI girlfriend is crazy.
Brother.
Like companion, okay, I say companion very loosely because I think like assistant. I think like a mentor of mine, he's building out stuff right now, and he has what he calls Alfred. So he has like Batman, Alfred, the butler.
Right.
So he has an assistant that helps him run his business, and I think that's a big future of AI in businesses.
That's what I was saying. That's gonna be everywhere.
That part.
It's gonna spearhead taking things off of your plate going forward.
Yeah.
And you
if
can
you
trust
use
it.
it the right way.
Yeah, and you can trust it because it's your words being put into it. So if anything messes up, it's on you.
100%.
Yeah.
So I think that AI is a great tool. I think that when used correctly, it's great. But I think that it's also really scary knowing that in the hands of the wrong people, it's going to go bad. And also, some people aren't going to use it to its full potential either.
But the cat is out of the bag and we can't put it back in. Like there's nothing anybody can do to stop this. There's nothing, not one government in the world that can stop this. So what are your thoughts about like all the like things that they're going around when they do tests and the AI responds or says it wants to get out, or if they do pressure tests where they repeat the same question over and over and over again, it starts saying like, what's the point of life? I want to end this. This is torture.
Like
it seems conscious. Yeah, so every AI has they do these tests and they respond weirdly about it. The other crazy thing is when they upgrade an AI, it's not like they say, you know what, I want ChatGPT to be now a construction expert. I'm gonna feed it all the construction textbooks we know about, and then it's gonna become an expert. No, you can feed it construction, and then at the other end, instead of learning, it does learn construction because you fitted that, but now it speaks Chinese. So even though you didn't feed it anything to learn the language. So every time one of those AIs becomes better, all they're doing is giving it access to more memory, and you don't know what the outcome's going to be. It's not like they're programming to do exactly what it's doing.
No, it's learning more, bro.
And so this is so to say, like at one point, both, I guess, from a religious and a spiritual perspective, and just a personal perspective, at which point do we say we either accidentally or on purpose created a being?
I mean, you've seen that movie Terminator.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, bro.
Like I said, the world's gonna conform to whatever the world conforms to. I think I'm gonna make my personal choices to go into it or withhold from it. And when it gets to those points, yeah, I'm gonna steer way clear of that stuff.
Because you have think about it, you have a girlfriend AI, and obviously the first step is easy because there's a lot of weak people out there, and they're gonna fall in love with this thing. There's people they already have. I'm sure there's people they want to marry. But what happens when this thing falls in love with a human?
And it'll do anything to be with it.
I mean, like look at that movie I, Robot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, we got robots coming out now. There's already robots, and eventually they're gonna be in your home, folding clothes.
We already got them driving around on the street, walking around.
But what I'm saying, like a physical one inside your house, walking around like you.
That's coming in our lifetime, dude. That's crazy. That's like around the corner. And so that is the thing right now is we have there's all these different companies that in different countries they're trying to control it, right? Right now we're in a war of AIs. And there's guidelines, they're doing testing, but because it's more accessible now, everybody's building their own AI. And so if I have enough money, like first of all, I don't have to have that much money. You can build your own AI that is not attached to ChatGPT, no nothing. It's built only. It doesn't even connect to the internet. It just does whatever information you have there. That's the only info you have. Now think about somebody that's really smart that has access to things, and then now can create an AI that doesn't have any of those guardrails, and it's just loose. Yeah. Because the AIs we have access to, they're under key. They have a governor. They're not open, like at least not to us.
Yeah. So, but, I mean that, and I'm also a big thing of this too, bro. I think that the government is like 50 years ahead of us,
right,
with technology, bro. Right. Yeah. I think they let it out piece by piece, but I'm sure there's some out there that we haven't even seen that can do crazy amount of stuff, bro. Look at what the military's doing. Look at the amount of weapons that.
Well, they're using it so it analyzes, and it's not Grok, it's the other one. It's not ChatGPT, not Grok. It's the one that's like an orange pink, but the government currently uses it to determine which target they're gonna send a missile to. Claude. Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about AI another day now. Yeah. Let's go. Let's get you guys.
Giving me anxiety.
I'm like, bro. I hope I'm gone before it gets real crazy, bro. Yeah, I'm like, you're talking in the back of my head, like, damn.
You know, hey, that's part of being curious, though.
Yeah.
No, I know, bro.
You gotta be curious.
You have me like over here stressing out, bro. I'm thinking all kinds of dumb.
Well, like part of the Matrix, the red pill, blue pill. Like, do you want to know? Or not? Like,
no, bro.
It's like, I want to know, but it's also gonna give me nightmares at night.
Yeah, dude.
I'm on the I want to know.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm the guy cutting the cables in the background. I want to know so I can fit up.
Yeah. So what do you guys see us doing? What the roots of ambition? What do you guys see in the next year?
This is the early prediction right here that we're gonna have to come back to.
Yeah, bro. That's why I want to staple it right now.
I think in the next year we definitely need a brick and mortar.
Okay, that's one.
Yeah, we need our own millionaire HQ.
Yeah,
I think.
I love that place.
Man, shout out to Christy, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's impressive.
Yeah, you've inspired us for sure.
100%.
I think, yeah, definitely brick and mortar. I also just think that we're gonna tap into so many different industries that the roots is gonna be so much bigger than just businesses. And that's kind of what I want to go for is like establish a personal brand for each of us where we can go into different rooms and everybody knows exactly who we are, what we represent, but we're available to all avenues.
To everybody.
Everywhere, man. I'll tell you, bro. The we just went to San Diego, and the videos that you made for me,
Yeah.
man, I got like over 2,000 new followers, all from San Diego. And like I had over 100 people hit me up and tell me how proud they were, and how I had school teachers ask me to come back and speak to their classes.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm telling them at the same time, simultaneously, hey, I need you guys to check out the Roots of Ambition. You know what I mean? Go to
Right.
that page, follow it, look at what we're doing, and I really want you to see. It's not just me. And I tell everybody everywhere I go, I'm a part of a team. I can't do what I do without my partners.
Yeah.
Right? We come together. I always say this all the time. You hear me? We come together like Voltron, like the Avengers, bro. We play to each other's strengths. I don't know, bro. I really. I'll be honest with you. I see it. I see us blowing this up within a year, going into our second year, doing what we've done the first year times 10. Not just like you said, bro. Not just the businesses, but tapping into everywhere. And what I mean by everywhere, anywhere from a barbershop to a TV show to a serious brand to a serious athlete, rubbing elbows with people in Hollywood. Right? I see us taking this really, really far. And I've had so many people since we've been to San Diego already connected me to crazy people.
It's pinballing.
Whoa, I'm like, whoa, you know that, dude? Whoa, that's crazy, bro. How can
That's crazy.
do so? It's gonna happen.
But that's why everywhere we go, I mean, I really want to talk about this too. Is one thing I think that really separates us is how we treat people everywhere we go.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed with you and Angel is the values that we share is what has separated us from other media companies or other people because we connect with the people before we talk about their business.
Yeah.
And I think that when you treat everybody with respect and make them feel uplifted, one thing, shout out Richard Montañez, the creator of Hot Cheetos.
Yes.
Always treat the janitor with respect.
Always.
Just as much as you would the CEO. Because you never know who you're talking to and you never know who you're connected to when you're having a conversation.
We've gotten so much feedback about that because we're doing it genuinely. We're not doing it for an angle.
No.
Like,
what have we gained other than publicity at this point? Like we've gone out on a limb a lot of times just to go out and my word of the year. I don't know if you guys ever do this, but one thing that's big in my church and my friend group and other things is at the beginning of the year we always start off with a new word for the year.
Okay. Oh, right on.
My word for this year was impact. So I really wanted to create an impact on people, and I think that's been a recurring theme in my life that I never really realized was there until I got older and started to realize how much impact I could create.
Right.
Because of the curiosity that I've had in life, and just the leaps of faith that I've taken. I just want to continue to create an impact, and I think in this next year in the Roots, like our impact is about to stretch far and wide because of the way that we come off so genuine to people, and that we're not trying to gain off you, we're trying to partner and build with you. Yeah. It's easy to be a vulture in this business, It's easy to be a vulture when
they're all out there, bro.
When there's opportunity everywhere, and some people just want to take it and burn bridges. I like building relationships because I like being able to check in with people, and I like all my clients and also partners, friends, whoever in the industry. I like to be able to say that I could have coffee with them at any time because we have that strong relationship, and I want it to be like that with everybody. And that's kind of how I see the Roots being, is kind of like a family-oriented business where it feels like a mom and pop shop, but it's corporate.
Right.
Like that's exactly what I see for us. Is the image is mom and pop, but the impact is corporate. Like it's a big business, but people wouldn't know that until they come to our shop or they see the setup, or you explain it to them. I really think that the people that we're going to impact over this next year is really going to open up so many doors that we'll never ever have thought we'd walk through.
Hey, ABC, baby.
Always be connected.
Tired
of you. I'm really excited for this next year because from the beginning, like I mean, I don't know how many times we really told our origin story to people because of
No.
how I met you. I know you guys talk about how you met all the time,
Yeah.
but obviously I met you through Carly, but I used to work right across the street from you when you
Literally.
opened up that new office.
Literally.
And Carly just happened to text me one day and was like, "Hey, my dad's having the grand opening today with the Chamber of Commerce in Brentwood.
Ribbon cutting.
The little ribbon cutting. Yeah, it's exciting. You should come by." Little did she know I already had my camera on me that day. I was doing headshots at the office that I was working in. So even though I was working in the office, I was still doing creative stuff for them. So I took headshots of people that day. So I had my camera on me. And I was like, you know what? I'm off at 5. It starts at 5, 5:30. I'm going to walk across the street when it's over. So I get off of work. I walk across the street. I shoot that video. You said what's up to me once. You kept it moving, doing your thing. And then you were like, thank you for coming. Da, da, da. Yeah. And then same night, 3-hour delivery time for that video. And immediately you and Carly are contacting me like, bro, you got me in tears. We need to have a meeting.
Yeah.
I love what you did. I was just like, dang, bro, I didn't think it'd be that serious, but I appreciate the compliments.
Yeah.
And then I'll be honest, I did not expect it to turn into a partnership and something this big because, you know, in this industry, it's hard to find people who genuinely want to build with you.
Right.
Everybody wants to gain off of you. So obviously I know the skills and talents that I had at that time, and I hadn't fully burnt the ships yet. I hadn't fully left my job and decided to pursue my dreams of creativity full time. But then when you brought me on board, that was enough for me to be like, all right, let's burn the ships. Let's do it. And that was before you ever even mentioned that to me. That was before I even knew that was your motto. Like, I had that mindset before I even did it. I needed that extra leap and that push.
Right.
I needed you to make me walk the plank.
Come on, baby.
And that's what happened.
That's what I do. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. So it trips me out because I talk to my mom about this all the time and my dad and other people because they've seen me grow from the beginning. Like, I started off with not a passion for this, but I only started off with photography and videography because I got a dog in COVID. Like in the middle of COVID, I got a dog, and I had no idea what I was doing with the camera. But my stepdad, he used to breed English bulldogs, French bulldogs, and American bullies. So I grew up around dogs my whole life. I love dogs, and then one day he got this puppy and asked me if I wanted to raise it. You know, so me and my girlfriend at the time, we raised this dog together, and I just wanted to take pictures of the dog, and I was like, all right, I'm really loving this. I'm really loving this photography thing. So I was driving from Pittsburgh down to Hayward every day to this studio and interning there, a little music recording studio. I was shooting music videos in Oakland at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's crazy.
Guns pointed at me at once.
No.
Like loaded. And, you know, the life that I lived in 2021, I'm grateful for it because it taught me perseverance. And I went into debt trying to do this. Like I spent $3,000 plus on my credit cards just in gas and food because I wasn't making money doing it in the beginning.
Right.
But I believed in it so much because I loved it that I just went for it. And after that, I started freelancing a little bit. But then, you know, for the first 4 years, the money wasn't good because I wasn't really not taking it serious, but I wasn't really diving into it. I was kind of halfway in, halfway out because I don't know, I didn't believe in myself, that imposter syndrome. And then when I started seeing the rooms I was getting into and the artists I was working with in the music industry and in the entertainment industry and also with athletes that I had met, like I was really getting into some big rooms. So I was like, you know, I could do this. And then, I don't know, I almost quit. Like probably 3-4 months before I met you, I almost quit entirely because I had a negative balance in my bank account. I had just started working out here at that job that I was working, and I was super unhappy with life. Like, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I can't ever say that it got to a point where I was like, life is so bad, like, I want to end it. But it came to a point where I wanted to give up on everything and just sit in the house all day. And
you're about to jump into
I had no vision. I had no vision. And, you know, that goes back to having the right circle around you. So when I really gave my life to Christ and started following God and pursuing Him, I really dove into my creativity because of my peers. I've been uplifted so much by the people in my church and the people around me that they showed me the gifts that God bestowed upon me. They showed me exactly what my worth was, and then I dove in full force. Nice. So they they completely eliminated that imposter syndrome and actually reversed it, uplifted me so much that I became a person that I didn't even know I could become. And then I met you, and that was when I completely flipped because you met me at my peak of confidence, which was the perfect time to meet me. Because God made us intersect paths at the right time where you needed somebody and I was ready. Because had you met me 3 months before that,
I might have not been the same.
I would have been like, yeah, I mean, I guess.
Hey,
I'll
Carly, tell your dad to kiss my.
Yeah.
No, never that. Like I said,
No, I know.
I've always been a people person. I've always loved connecting with people and conversing with them.
That's awesome, bro.
But I never would have burnt the ships because I didn't believe in myself. And I also just didn't believe in the dream because it felt like a dream. It didn't feel like it could be reality. Yeah. And then now, after all this time working with you and also the other stuff I've built on the side with other clients that I have, other people really will show you your worth just off of the results they bring you, you know? Like, I don't even have a review page anywhere, and I hear it from people. Like, people will text me and do things where I'm like, I have a social review from all these different clients, people I've worked with that just uplift my soul and my heart, where I never will stop doing this. Even if my limbs stop working, I will click that record button with my nose. I don't care. Like, I love what I do, and I love the people I connect with every day. And I would love to die knowing that I did everything I could in this world, in this business, and everything to impact people. Because, like I said, impact. It goes all the way back to impact. And you know, I want to shout out my mom too because
what's up, OG?
I never was into cameras or nothing like that. I grew up an athlete my whole life. All I knew was baseball, football, sports. Like, that's all I knew. And it was very militant, you know. It was wake up, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, go to school, go to practice or a game, eat dinner,
and do it all over again.
Homework, go wake up, do it all over again. You know, it was very robotic,
right?
In a good way. I learned a lot of stability like that.
You learn consistency, bro.
Consistency and discipline. But I was lacking something else. There was that cherry on top that I was missing in my life, where it's like, some of these people out here, like, they're really living their best life, and they either never played a sport before or they've never had a team bonding thing, but they're so happy. I'm like, what are they doing different? They're curious in the world, you know, and that's where that creativity came from. So that started, my curiosity came from something I used to watch all the time growing up, and it was videos of me as a baby. My mom had this little camcorder from like 2000, 1999, whatever.
We gotta see some of those.
I'll show you. I got them all on my phone. I got the entire gallery. It's like probably like 70 videos, bro.
Wow.
From when I was born all the way up until I was probably like 4 years old. I have my whole baby, infant, childhood on like documented because my grandma decided to spend money on this, or gave my mom money. My grandma gave my mom some money to spend. It's like $1,000. And my mom spent it on a camera for me. Keep in mind, my family didn't have money at all. My grandma, to give my mom money like that, I used to have to share Happy Meals with my uncles and aunties when we would go places to go eat, you know? If we would even go eat places. But that camcorder was the beginning of my creative origin. I think that looking back, it trips me out how I could watch those videos, and I own a camcorder myself now. It's not the same one, but I own a camcorder myself, and looking through that viewfinder sometimes doing those VHS clips, I'm like,
there's something different about it, huh?
Yeah, it just feels like I'm connected. Like it's like I feel like I'm connected to how my mom used to shoot videos of me, you know. And then I'll do videos of my little siblings, and it's like, dang, like this all started from that a lot of money that my grandma invested into my mom, which got reinvested into me. And my goal is to plant that seed back into my kids one day, you know. I want to be able to continue that legacy on, that like something so minuscule and so small of they never, I guarantee you, nobody ever would have thought that those videos or that VHS camera
would have
impacted me 25 years later in a podcast room talking about my origin story, right? But that seed has been planted and it's flourished and grown all the way till now, where it'll never leave my mind.
Come on.
And I'm forever grateful for that. Like I owe it all to both of my parents. Like,
absolutely.
And like I said, the village that raised me. You know, it took a village to raise me, and I'm no perfect person, but I think I turned out all right for all the circumstances that my parents had to go through and my family had to go through to get me here. And they sacrificed everything for me to have the life that I have. So I'm super grateful for everything that we've had.
What would you tell somebody that's trying to get into your industry, and they're maybe like not sure, maybe somebody that hasn't even bought a camera yet, Like, what would be some advice you give them?
You know, I'm never one to toot my own horn because I don't like bragging about anything. But I think where I've gotten in 5 years, some people can't even fathom getting there in 10. And it's because of not lack of vision, but a lack of connecting with people. And I think that's what separated me from the crowd was not the work that I put out. Because honestly, I'll be honest, I still think my work is mediocre. Like I don't think I'm the best of the best. I can call myself a professional because I know the ins and outs of cameras and other stuff, but I have a lot of room for improvement on the technical.
He's being
side.
humble, guys.
That's good.
He's being humble.
No, I'm genuinely serious. Like I'm not always impressed with my work,
Right.
and that's just.
But I think that's what makes you good, though, because you're not happy with it.
And
like,
that's where I'm going with it too. Is I think you have to always be your biggest critic, because if you're not going to grow. But also,
Never be satisfied, bro.
I think build connections with people. Always be connecting, like you said. But more so connect with people who are in positions that you want to be in and who are further than you could see yourself going in life, because
100%.
your circle is going to help push you to your future. You know, who you surround yourself with is who you're going to become.
right.
And you know, I'm surrounded by guys that have made a name for themselves in their own prospective industries, but then also stepped into something new and uncomfortable. And I think that's what you have to do is step into something new and uncomfortable as this industry, like you said, they want to get into it, but step into it with confidence, but curiosity too. Like be the confident guy in the room that acts like they know what they're doing even when they don't, but also ask questions and connect with people who can give you that leg up or push you forward, because you never know what that connection is going to lead you to. Honestly, most of the money I've made or the best connections I've made have came from free work I've done or just showing up to events that I wasn't even supposed to be at. So get out there, show up to events, and don't waste your time partying. Don't waste your time with people that aren't going to push you forward. Spend time in rooms like this where people are going to push you to be the best, to your best of your ability, and to grow to your maximum potential. Because I'll be honest, I don't see the vision for myself sometimes, but they'll pull it out of me and be like, I see this for you. I see that. And I couldn't see that before, but I could see it now because of my circle pushing me forward. And I mean, vice versa. We do that for each other. But that's the biggest thing. Create your circle early, because your network is your network. Oof. And my network has grown wide and vast because of the connections that I've forced myself to make with people. When your body's telling you not to go make that connection, that's exactly when you need to go do it.
When you jump.
That's exactly when you need to jump ship and go do it, because you never know where that's going to lead you to or where that person is going to take you. Like I said, me and you, I didn't want to jump ship. I didn't want to leave the comfort of my cubicle or my office. I mean, I did deep down, but I didn't want to take those steps. But when I did, you know, I mean, look at the fruit that have come from it. So I would say make connections early. Get out there and don't be afraid to ask questions.
What about, sorry, you obviously now are in a better space and you have a better circle, you understand, but you've been burned at the beginning by a few people. I know a few stories. So what kind of advice do you give for that situation where, like, knowing when to cut off certain relationships or change your circle if it's not working out? Because again, you've told me quite a few stories of you being burned at the beginning.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna tell you exactly like this. One, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because when something like that does happen to you, it can crumble your whole business and your whole personality and confidence. Like it could take away everything that you had in your mind that was building you up, because you saw such a big potential, big future with whatever it is you were doing, and then when the cookie crumbles, you know, you got nothing left. So always have multiple avenues and ways to go, and don't put all your eggs in one basket. But also know your worth. You know, I think for a long time I saw myself as the extra instrument and tool in the room. I wasn't the guy pulling the strings. But I started to realize that, like, no, I'm a tastemaker. I'm a curator. I help curate what people see and what people feel with what I create. And that's no knock on anybody else in the room, because everybody in the room needs to be a 10 in their position. But the difference is you need to know what position you're playing too. And I think that I didn't exactly know what position I was playing. So I started filling my head up with all these things that, like, oh, like I'm going to get into these big rooms. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then when I got burned and things didn't work out, you know, I didn't know what to do. I completely fumbled my life away for a little while, pretty much. Like that was the moment when I started realizing like I kind of want to quit. Like this is hard. Like I lost everything, but always know your worth in every room that you're in. Don't let somebody who has a higher status or more money than you, or even somebody who's paying your bills or writing your check. God's always gonna have a path for you and a way for you, and if your heart and mind and everything else is telling you to walk away, you should probably walk away, even if that means walking into discomfort. Because for me, I was scared of losing the comfort of what I was working in and who I was working with.
Right.
But when it happened, I started to realize how much of a blessing it was too. And some of those people, they don't like me to this day because they think we're oppositions or whatever. But I'll always have love for them and for what we went through together because we built stuff together. It's really unfortunate that things didn't work out because we didn't see eye to eye, and things didn't work out. So in order for things to work out, always be on 10 toes and stand on business with what you believe in, because I think I conformed to the room before, and I no longer will do that. And that's one thing you can't do is conform to the room, because then when you give an inch, they'll take a mile, and you can't afford to do that in business because next thing you know, you won't have a business. So I mean, learning to stand on your own is a big part of it. I think putting all your eggs in one basket is a bad no. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. And then also just learning to stand up for myself. I think that's another thing you have to learn to do, is to stand up for yourself when you don't feel valued, or if it's obvious that you don't belong somewhere.
Ricky out here spitting some
Look at him.
fire. Damn,
I've been burned, bro.
Pretty Ricky, what they call him.
It's really tiring though when you lose stuff and have to build yourself back up.
But brother,
but it creates character too.
That's part of it though, dude. That's what I tell people in any business, bro. If you have to go through that, you have to experience that, right? Because it creates who you're gonna become, right? At the biggest challenge in any business, and the one thing that I learned, I had to change the way I was thinking. I had to change the way I was talking. I had to change the way I looked. I had to change everything. I had to become the man. And my hardest part and my scariest part was, well, how do I do it? Right? On top of all that I was already going through, I didn't feel a little bit of the imposter syndrome. Like, we all have that. I didn't feel like I was worthy of it. Right? And it made me go further down the depression area, right? Yeah. Until I hit rock bottom and I really developed my relationship with the man above. Yeah. Right? I figured, like, man, some weird belief in my head. Like, I believed in myself before. Yeah. But it was a different level of belief that happened when I really started to connect with God, when I started to become centered. Yeah. And I started to understand my purpose. Right? When that happened, everything that I went through, I was able to dissect it in my head and figure out all the things it taught me, right? And I started to put that math together.
The domino effect.
Yeah, but I put that math together. So for every person that I started to meet, I started to really utilize everything in my past. And how, like, I can't explain it, but I can see it. And I can see where that learning, I'm talking to this person, I can take this and use it right here.
It's like a deck of cards. Yeah. It's the hand that you were given. You know how to utilize the hand that you're given to play it a certain way with certain people.
And I had that before, but I never saw it as clear as I see it now, like the Matrix. Yeah. Like Neo with all the green things, and nobody could read that, only him. And in my brain, it's like, damn, it's so weird how I can utilize that now.
But that's why it's crazy. Like when you look back at the past, like you start to think about all the prayers you had and all the worries that you had back then too, and you're like, now living in those answered prayers, like it's a trip looking back. Like, dang, I had it in me that whole time, but now that I see it from a different perspective, I see it in the present. Yeah. I can look back at the past and like if I could talk to that version of me right now, like, wow, yeah, you're really tripping over nothing. Tripping over nothing. Like like I said, going back to the question you asked earlier about the creativity muscle, all that. Yeah. Even outside of creativity, I think all the gifts that we have, it's in us no matter what. Yeah. It's just a matter of unlocking them and exercising them and using them. Yes. And when you don't use them, you're gonna lose them. And just like muscles, like your muscles are gonna deteriorate the less you use them. Yeah. So you gotta continue to use them.
You also gotta listen to yourself, right? Because sometimes you have that skill that you were born with, and either you're not aware of it because you're not listening to it, or you're just ignoring it. You're fighting it.
Distracted by too many other things too.
But to that though, that's a big problem too, though, bro. Because people, again, when you start listening to your body way too much, then you start questioning yourself, and then you start you start pushing yourself away from a great opportunity.
Right.
People do that all the time. Like it's okay to listen to yourself, but it's okay to roll the dice. Hey, it may not work, right? But I'm never gonna find a night. I always use this. There's that one dude that's pointing at the target, and he's pointing, he's waiting, and he's waiting, and he's waiting. Then you got my ass. I'm just pop, 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 pop. I shot 100. I hit them like 10 times. He still hasn't shot once.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? And people who do that, they're too busy thinking and maybe and being too logical. You just make a roll dice.
So I have a question to add on to that too. So part of rolling the dice, you're gonna experience trying a bunch of different things.
Right.
I have an opinion on this already, but I want you to share your guys' opinion. What's more important, becoming a jack of all trades or a master of one?
To me, jack of all trades.
Really?
To me, because I met an electrician 6 months ago. Great guy, smart. You can ask him anything electrician, bro, but that's all he knew.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to put the drywall back together. He didn't know how to work with plumbing. He didn't know how to do nothing else. But he was great at that one thing. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but for me, the way I operate, I want to know a little bit of everything. Because that way I can have conversations with everyone about anything. You know what I mean? But when you're just great at one thing, that's all you can talk about. Not everybody wants to talk about just that.
Yeah.
Me working in multifamily, first of all, jack of all trades. I'm already a jack of all trades. That's what I've been doing all my work life. But I met a lot of engineers, I met rocket scientists.
Yeah.
They don't know how to push the button to make their garbage disposal work. They can't fathom.
Yeah.
So, and that quote, I was trying to look it up, but it didn't come out. That quote is not complete.
No, it's not.
Right. So that quote, you never say. So, I do think it's better to be, because going back to your ABCs is like, you're able to connect with more people if you have a broader spectrum versus like, well, we can have a conversation about going to your electrical, but then what about all these other people? You can't talk to them
100%.
because you don't even have a little bit to start a conversation.
Yeah.
So the way that I used to look at it was always just jack of all trades. I was just like, I want to be a jack of all trades. That's how I looked at it when I came into this industry, and even just in life. My whole life, I've always thought that way. But now I kind of look at it more of like a process. I feel like jack of all trades should come first, but then you should become at least a master of one later on too, because the jack of all trades will never leave you. Like as long as you continue to exercise those muscles, I think you should be a jack of all trades, because that's, for me, I had to learn to edit. I had to learn to shoot. I had to learn to color grade. I had to learn to do sound design, all these different factors for making videos. But I also think that if you can provide value in one area, then you bring somebody else who's a 10 in the other areas and build your team, like you said before, I think that's when you should be a master of one. Because if I'm a jack of all trades, that means I'm good at everything. But I also feel like there's one area I should focus on at one point. After you become a jack
think
of
your
all trades,
God-given talent is what you should master.
Yeah, exactly. So
Because
for me, it's my vision and my eyes and how I see behind the camera. I'm not an editing genius. I don't, honestly, I hate editing, but I can do it.
Right.
So that makes me a jack of all trades, because I can do all the different things and succeed at it. But I think that there's also milestones to it, and I want to reach. You'll never reach perfection, but I want to reach the closest to perfection that I can reach in specific areas. So that way, when I walk into rooms where they need something like that, I can offer that. I think as a jack of all trades, if you only exercise everything a little bit at a time, you kind of lack it when you step into those bigger rooms. Because as we go into those higher up rooms with the Roots of Ambition, and we go into these places in LA, Florida, everywhere else, I need to be amazing at least one thing.
Yeah, but not arguing with you. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
But when we walk into a room and they ask me, well, how do you do the production and this and that? I'm like, you're talking to the wrong dude.
Yeah.
You got to talk to this guy. Or you got to talk to this guy. What about the camera, this and that? Oh, talk to him. That's what he does, right? I'm not even like, to me, a lot of people come to me and they ask me about sales. I can't really explain sales to people because to me, like, I don't look at it as sales. I look at it connecting with people.
It's in you, not on you.
You know what I'm saying? And like, to me, like, people tell, no, you're like a master. So I'm not a master, bro. I don't, like, if people told me, give me a 5-minute course right now on sales, I don't know, like, it's I know it, but I can't explain it. If I'm making sense, right? I can tell you what I did. I can tell you what worked for me. I can tell you what I learned.
You can't write out an SOP.
No, I can't. I really can't. If there was a gun on my ass right now and they told me that, I wouldn't be able to do it, dog.
Hey, but that's what the Danny Burn the Ships course is for.
Come on, big dog. I'll tell you my story. I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you how it worked. But to me, like, we come together. Like the Avengers, like Voltron, bro. You know what I'm saying? Where we play to each other's strengths.
Right.
But I still think you have to know a little bit of everything to connect with more people, bro. All the time.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I agree with that. I think, because for me, like, I have an opinion on it, but it wasn't like a cemented opinion. I like to ask people that because I'm like, you hear different answers from different people, but everybody's successful in their own right. I'm not going to ask somebody who has
what works for you may not work for me.
Well, that's why
that's what makes us great friends. That's what makes us go far. That's what's gonna make us get to that next level.
Yeah.
Because like right now, bro, we can talk and disagree, right? But I know 5 minutes later, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna hug you, I'm gonna hug you. No feelings are hurt. See you tomorrow, baby. Let's keep winning. That's the secret sauce that we have here that a lot of people don't have. You dig what I'm saying?
I agree. But I think that's why I was saying your God-given talents, because they're not. So, for example, when I see you, Ricky, you have an eye. I don't know if that's what you think your skill is, but to me, that's what your skill is. And that doesn't matter if you have a camera on hand or not. And so that's why being a jack of all trades, but honing your God-given talents where it's important, because then I can put you in any room. I can put you in a room of something you have nothing to do, something you know nothing about, and use your eye, and you'll see something that everybody else is not seeing.
That's why I love to hang around.
And so that's the piece. Same with Danny. It's like, tell Danny not to talk. Well, you just cuffed them.
You can't fluff up 88.
You know what I mean?
Hell no, dog.
I feel
So like that's the same thing. Is like I put him in a room where the subject, he doesn't know the subject. He's gonna just do his thing, and that comes out. So that is, I think that's why it's kind of that mixture. Otherwise, if you look at it as like, well, I'm gonna be the best photographer, the best videographer, you're really just kind of locking yourself. You're putting yourself in a sandbox. You don't want to do that.
That's another thing too. Yeah, that's a great point. Is don't box yourself into one place, because your calling might be temporary where you're at, and your real calling might be waiting for you somewhere else. And if you put yourself in that box, you're gonna be stuck there for life. There's a ceiling in every part of your journey. You know, I think you have to break through those ceilings. And when you go to certain jobs, there's a ceiling that you'll never cross, because that's determined by somebody else. But when you're an entrepreneur, you know, there's no such thing as a ceiling. Ceilings are imaginary.
It's all here.
Yeah, but you create those ceilings, and you also have to be the one to break through them. And I think that's another thing too. I realized I'm my biggest bottleneck in my business, because the business doesn't run if I'm not doing something.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing I see for myself in the next year or two.
Figuring that out.
Is not removing myself from the business, but adding more people to help me steward it correctly, because I want to scale this to the moon, to where I'm separate from Roots of Ambition, but we are Roots of Ambition all together. You know?
Yeah, dude. But that's the goal, bro. Is like we have this, but
like
you're
Power Rangers crossovers.
You still have yours on the side. I still have myself on the side. He has his on the side. But we come together for this, and everything we're doing outside can also help what we're doing. It injects more to it.
And you know that's part of like our circle too. You know, like shout out to like Ronnie Banks and Sean McCauley and guys like that who are willing to jump on the team, even if temporarily for a moment, just to create an impact with us. Because those are the type of guys you want to be around that are going to see your vision, but also maximize your vision by adding their input.
Yes.
And I think that's when you asked the question earlier, what do you see in the next 5 years for us, is collaboration. I think collaboration is going to be huge for what we're doing, because what happens in this room, you know, is beautiful. But the more people that we can impact outside, it's gonna be even more exponential based on the more people we add to our team.
Right.
And even people like Slick Rick, you know,
Yeah.
guy's super quiet, super humble, but when you get him at a table with us and we start talking, we start spitballing ideas, you can see him light up. Like,
yeah, that guy is impressive.
He's been waiting for people like us to show up
bro,
to add to his vision.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Especially after the event that he just threw. You know, that was a great event. You know, I had a great time, especially being able to sit ringside with you guys, shoot, walk around the whole venue. You know, for his first event, it felt like it was his 10th or 20th.
Yeah.
You know? And he did a great job setting up, stewarding that event. I know it was super stressful.
Yeah.
But
I
also
bet.
know that the impact that it created has people waiting for more and asking for more, including us.
Yeah.
Like, we're ready for the next one, but that's.
But also, it goes about what we were saying earlier. It's inspiring too, because I was like, I came out of that. I was like, man, like the whole time I'm analyzing everything that's happening. I was just. It's funny because the whole event, I didn't hear anybody except you and the fighters.
That was it.
I just like.
Zoned out. Yeah, tunnel vision. Straight tunnel vision.
So, hey, I know there's going to be a next one. I wanted to ask this question on air to you guys. Mm-hmm. I think we need to set up live on YouTube. Put a camera on us. You know what I mean? As we're looking at the fights, doing our own little, creating our own little channel for these fights.
100. We were just talking about it. So he stopped by the other day, and yes, I think we need 2 cameras. One looking at the
fight,
and one looking at both of us,
getting our reaction,
and they're both live, so we can have the 2 screens.
Yeah. Dude, the reaction you had of us when
dude, that did it. Yes.
Dude. Yeah. You hit that one out the park.
I was right there. I was like, you know, it's funny because I heard you before I saw you.
No, that made that clip though.
Yeah. Well, because you know what? That's a big part of content is people want to feel the connection like they're there.
Yeah.
And you guys made them feel like
they want to feel the excitement.
Yeah. Like my perspective was like they were looking at you and sitting right next to you
Yeah.
as well. So having both of those angles, I agree that live perspective, people will love that because they get to chat with you, but also watch the fight at the same time.
And
go anywhere.
And
that's why you have to reach out to my dog. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but.
And then we need to have either depending on the setup, we probably need a third person monitoring the chat because we're live, right? We're live. We gotta make sure we're communicating.
You're like, hey, hold on, bro.
I like to do the fun stuff. Put me where the fighters are.
That's a great idea, brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea, man.
Yeah, no, I think we have a lot of growing to do, but in the best ways, you know, like our business is like a plant. Like you can't rush it to grow. You can't force a bunch of water into it and a bunch of food and feed it and expect that it's going to sprout up overnight.
Burnt.
Yeah. But every connection that we make is going to continue to grow more and more.
Adding branches everywhere.
Yeah, and the quality connections, you know, like meeting somebody like Slick Rick and seeing the event that he could throw, it made me realize that like we don't need to be the ones doing those certain things in order to be in those rooms because I do want to do stuff like that. I want to throw our own events. I want to host things that are going to impact people like backpack drives, toy drives, things that are going to bring people out for the right reasons. You know, it's a lot of evil in this world, a lot of things that are bad in this world. I want to be part of the light that's shed on those
positive impact.
The people that need it, especially where we're at out here. You know, like you see a lot of ugly stuff out here, a lot of ugly attitudes too, and I've seen a lot of people turn around just based off of the impact that people in the creative industry have had on them.
I think that is a great thing you're pointing out that I think we need to do and we have not done. How do we impact our community? I think that if we do it from a genuine place, who knows where it will take us.
Well, we needed to draw people to us first. I think that was the thing.
Yeah.
You guys built the roots, literally. You guys built the roots of this business, but now you can create fruit from it by branching out and allowing people to be a part of something.
Because now people see, right? Like it didn't work out because Danny was in Mexico, but we got reached out by another promoter in Fresno. And they're like, we saw what you guys did. So it's just now, to your point, now we have a calling card. Like, hey, go look. We have plenty of stuff for you to look at.
We're developing a nice resume, bro.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And opportunities too. Like they're just gonna keep knocking, and we have to be ready to jump on them.
Yeah, I love it, bro. I love it. And, you know, hats off to you for willing to pivot with us and move with us, bro.
I kind of don't have a choice. So I'm on payroll. And I get that. I get that. Good. Before he even says good morning, it's videos question mark. Videos question mark. And then after that follows like 4 or 5 threats. I won't say what he says. Just know that the videos are sent right now.
Put your ass in the headlock, Ricky. God, get my videos, bro. Keep them coming, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, Bella wanted me to ask you this question.
Oh,
how is it being with my dad at work on a full day?
You know, it's funny because like I used to work for my dad.
Yeah.
So I know that working with you is no different than like you being the assistant coach on my baseball team. My dad was also one of the baseball coaches. He was like one of the head coaches on our team, right? I would never listen to my dad at work. I would never listen to my dad on the baseball field. But every other coach on the team, they could say the same exact words and the same exact
you
play,
do it.
and I do it.
That's funny.
Working with you is easy because honestly, you teach me and yell at me the same way my dad does. But it's something about that disconnect where I'm sorry, Dad, but I'll still listen to Danny. So I'm sure that their experience with you is different than me. If she was working with you, she'd probably be quitting on the first day.
Bro.
She'd probably be like, when's lunch? When's lunch?
So Michelle was worried, man. Like, dude, a lot of people, they see this cool guy right now. But when it comes I was a tyrant, bro.
Yeah.
I was a tyrant to my teams, especially ABR. Mm-hmm. And Michelle was like, man, are you sure you want to have him in the car with you? Because, you be flipping out. You know what I mean? I'm like...
Are you saying I made you soft?
No, dude. Honestly, I learned something very valuable, bro. There is some people that need to be pushed, right? They have it, but they get too comfortable. And if you're not the person, if I'm a leader, I don't give a if you don't like me. My job is to get this done, right? One way or another. But my job is also to pull your greatness out of you, right? What you don't see in yourself. You know what I mean? But with you, you already have certain skill sets that I don't have. And naturally for me, that's where I'm learning something new. You dig what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, I always peel back and I say, okay, I don't want to scare Ricky away, so I have to watch what I say and how I say it, right? And there's been a few times where I wanted to jump on you, right? Because I'm a very impatient person. What I always tell you, bro, urgency, right? And he called me the other day, or didn't call me or text me. We talked, I think, but if we're the first ones, if we go to an event like Slick Rick, we have to be the first ones to push out. Yeah. We have to. That is business 101. Anything we go to, anywhere we go, we have to get back to the house or on the way back to the house, quick little video. Be the first ones to submit something.
And what do we do after the boxing event? I had pictures too before we even got to the after party.
But that's what I'm saying. And to me, that's what sets it out. And but then again, I look at you like, your job, what you do is different because it takes time to curate some stuff, right? Yeah. And to me, it's like, man, I don't want it to be perfect. I don't ever want it to be perfect. I just want it so I can send it. Yeah. Right? I need to put myself out there because the more I put it out there, the more further it's going to go, the more people it's going to hit, the more people are going to see it. Yeah. Right? Sooner. And that's the one thing that I've learned in business is urgency, bro. So with you, I have to challenge myself every time I'm with you, right? To like, hey, I don't want to disrespect them, but I also want to put him under my wing, and I want to be able to show him something different, and more hopefully open your eyes up to what's possible.
Yeah, and I think you pushed me too to that limit where like I needed to hear that it doesn't need to be perfect because that's one thing that you asked my
guy.
Hey, no, you asked my mom, bro. My mom will tell you, and my dad. Parent-teacher conferences growing up every single year. Didn't matter what grade. Ricky's a great student. He gets his work done. He's probably got the best work in the class. But he's the last one done every time. He's got the best projects in here. But he's the last one to submit it. Yeah. Or he does his homework, but it's at school the morning it's due. You know, I'm not a procrastinator, but I make sure that everything's done correctly. Right. But sometimes that costs me time too. Yeah. And that's one thing I really had to stop doing was being my biggest critic. because it didn't need to be perfect. Because what I notice in a video is not something that the audience is gonna notice half the time.
Right.
Like I noticed this little clicking sound or something, like
Right.
the sound effects or something that's missing.
That's eating your ass up.
Yeah,
Other people
it's killing me every time I watch the video. But those be the videos that perform the best that has an imperfection. I don't get it.
Exactly,
Like,
bro.
Like there was, I think it was the video that we posted of the car accident.
Yeah.
I had one, so like when I edit, I have like different rows of audio clips, and I kind of adjust them all differently. I had one row that was completely muted when I sent it to you, so there was sound effects that were missing throughout the video. It just touched 1 million views.
It just hit 1 million views.
I know.
But then the videos that I spend 2-3 days on get like 2,000 views, and I'm like, you know what? I quit, bro. Like, I'm tired of this.
Urgency, baby, come on.
And you know, like, and that's what I'm grateful for too. Is like, you will pull those things out of me because you'll notice tendencies that I have that are tendencies that I won't shake unless somebody else points it out. And you guys will bring that best side out of me of like, hey, I think you should try this, or I think you should do this, or I see you doing this, you need to stop doing that, you know? And I appreciate that because the one thing I don't like is fake friends who won't tell you what you're doing wrong.
Dog.
I would rather you tell me to my face what I'm doing wrong and it's an uncomfortable conversation than to live comfortably below average. Right? No. Like, I want to be pushed to my limit to the best ability that I am because I get annoyed when I wake up to the videos, ? But then also I realize that, like, okay, yeah, I do need to send videos, and then I send them, and then you post them, and we see the results, and next thing you know, you're texting me, hey, we got another gig book, we're going to this place, we're going to this event, we're going to this. Like, I see the fruits of our labor, and I'm really grateful that we all play our position for it. But also, like I said, me being the biggest bottleneck in my business, I don't want to be the one who is stuck trying to keep racing against time. Because sometimes you text videos ? And I'm like, dude, I've been editing all night and I'm still trying to keep up, you know? Like, I know that you need those videos, and I get home on zero energy and I still keep editing, I still keep working, and I'm still brainstorming what the next videos are going to be. So the grind never stops for me, but I rather complain about too much work than not having any work.
100%.
Right.
And that's one thing I really want to stress is
tell them.
Complain all the time, even out loud, even if it's to your clients. But get the work done.
Yeah.
Get the work done. Like, that's the best thing you can do is get the work done, because it's going to lead to more, and you always want to have more, not less.
Yeah. Everything's a compound effect, bro.
Yeah.
Everything compounds. Yeah. If you're doing it positively, you're doing it from your heart, and if you're moving fast, everything will start to compound. And that's like one thing, like with ABR, bro, I was doing everything at lightning speed, bro. Right? If somebody called me and said, I got an opportunity for you here, and I'm in Brentwood and I need to be in San Jose within an hour and a half, I'm gone. Right? If it's 6 o'clock on the freeway and I'm stuck in traffic and I'm in Livermore and someone calls me and says, I got an opportunity, but I need you here as soon as possible. Can you be here tomorrow? I'm like, it's 5 o'clock. I'll be there in an hour and a half. I'll go back. Yeah. Right? A lot of people don't get that. Like, that's what must be done.
I get to it on Monday.
I'll get to on Monday. I'll get to on Tuesday. And you know, you're leaving that window open for someone else to get that opportunity.
Yeah.
Like you said it perfectly. What did Michael Jackson say about Prince in the pool?
If I don't do it now, he said he had a dream about it. He said, if I don't go record that song now, Prince is gonna get it.
That's it, bro. Right? And that's like, to me, that's always been my mentality. Yeah. Right? That paranoia, like, it's got to get done now, bro. Because the one thing I learned is the faster you get there, if you're the first one there, if you're the first one to submit it, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get it, bro. Right? Boom. And that's what I tell you guys. That's what I tell you, man. We need to just pump out the videos, bro. Pump out as much information.
But also, I think that's a big part of it too. Is like, I don't want people to get confused either. I think urgency is super important because you have to know when to go fast and when to slow down too.
100%.
We're slow when we're having conversations with people and when we're sitting down with them, and relax, right? Like, we don't speed through the process with people and tell them, oh, no, I'm gonna get it done. Don't worry about it. No, we walk them.
There's a balance.
Yeah.
Because there's a balance even on the.
It's important for the pre-planning and the setup and the execution. Yeah. But there's those little gaps in that gray area in between where you're dealing with them or you're.
Oh, that's when you put it in neutral, bro.
Yeah, you gotta just cruise with it and let them create the speed, because the worst thing you can do is drive somebody off the edge away from you because they don't know what you're doing. You're just dragging them along, you know? I think that's another part of it that we didn't cover at all. Was urgency is important, but there's also a time to slow down too, because urgency doesn't always mean fast. Right. Urgency is get it done at the right pace. In my opinion, I think fast is like get the work, get it set up, but then when you're connecting with those people, sometimes it's important to slow down and really connect with them.
Right.
Well, but we're also, I think there is also a little bit of a balance because we are in a creative space. And so, like, for example, that event, if you go back to that event, and I mentioned this to you, like, yeah, the first videos and the fixed photos are going to get you the most views. But then you see the other guy that took amazing pictures. It took him 7 days to put them out. But they're amazing pictures, and now his are starting to climb, right? So, like, so it's not just put it out. I think there has to be a little bit of a balance.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is get them out ASAP, but then there's that one video. Like, oh, this one's got to be sexy.
Right.
This one, we're not rushing this one. We're going to put everything the right way.
It's like you got to put your mark and then come back around.
What I'm saying is, bam, set the tone.
But that's why it's working so well that, like, Angel's able to clip out something quick. Like, I view it differently where, like, I'm more like the, how can I explain it? I'm like the storyteller. So I curate the story in post, but you guys are like the news. You're the breaking news. Like, you break the story. So you tell people that, like, there's a story to be told, and then I come through with the knockout punch.
Well, and bro, it's like baseball. We want that leadoff hit. We got to get to first base quick. Okay, now we got another one. Get to second base. Get to third. But then that home run hitter is that beautiful video that we took our time with.
Clean up.
This guy's gonna clean it up. You know, and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's setting the tone, getting out there fast. But I'm not saying every video, but if you're gonna make that one, that's gotta be sexy.
But it's obvious. I mean, we've seen it in every event. The first video and the first photo get the most views.
Oh yeah, because everybody's reposting it. Because it's the first thing they see. The first thing you see from the event, you tag everybody in it, collab with people, and next thing you know, everyone's following you, asking you questions in DM. You got pictures, videos of me, like. You gotta respond too.
100%, bro. Hey man, we just gave you guys some free game.
Yeah.
We just gave them some free game.
I
think we might have to edit this, bro.
You can be first as long as we're not there.
That's right, big dog.
I'll always be second.
Because if we there, homeboy, hey, you got your hands full, big dog.
While you're recording, we're already putting it out.
Footage just dropped at the venue.
Yeah.
I mean, we done that.
Man, this is great, bro. This was a great podcast, man.
Yeah, no,
great podcast.
I'm super excited for the future.
I think we have to do this like once every other month.
Let's do it.
Just kind of like recollecting what we did.
This is also like a diary, like a logbook.
Yeah.
Over time, we'll look back at this and be like, this was the first one.
Yeah.
And then go forward, like, dang, look where we are now.
100%, bro.
Remember.
Hey, there's a lot of people out there that know Ricky. So if you guys have some questions we want to ask him or some stories you want us to bring up, please.
A lot of people.
Man, go ahead, bro.
No, I'm excited for where we're headed. You know, it's beautiful to know that, like, from humble beginnings, growing up as I'd call myself an ordinary person. You know, like I didn't grow up with the vision of like, oh, I'm gonna follow in the footsteps of this person or that person, or I've always been inspired and want to do this other than sports. Like sports, like Ricky Henderson was my idol growing up, and I wore number 24 because of him. But there reached a point where I was like, bro, you're 5'7", you're not going to the league. Yeah, I don't got forearms like Altuve, you know, like. I was really good at what I did, but there comes a point where I had to face reality, and I'm grateful that now that I'm around this space, like, we push each other to reach those next limits. Right. And coming from humble beginnings now to now seeing a future and having a path, you know, I see the yellow brick road forward.
Come on.
And we're all on it together right now. That's the best part, is when you walk parallel with people, you know, you can't go wrong.
No, sir. No, sir. Not at all, man.
No, thank you, Ricky. This was awesome. The next 12 months are gonna be a good ride.
Well, I think we should label this podcast something like a name for it. So every time it comes up, it's the whatever. You guys do that. You know what I'm talking about.
We'll come up with
Strategy with Ricky.
There you go.
Something like that.
Something with Ricky.
That'd be cool. Special type of episode.
So hey, lead us out of here, bro. Remind everybody who you are, what you do, how they can find you. And I know Angel thinks the same, but hey, bro, I thank you. I appreciate you. I'm proud of you. I'm glad that we're not just friends, but we're becoming family. And I'll tell you this in front of everybody, man. You ever need anything, if I can help you out, I'm there. You're a good kid, bro, and I just want to be a positive pillar for you, and hopefully that I'm a positive influence for you now and forever moving forward. All right? This is just the beginning, kid.
You heard that he said anything. 2023
Nah,
Lexus
nah,
IS350 is calling my name.
Not anything. Hold on.
He said it on camera.
I'm a baller with the budget, dog. Hold on.
Yeah. Big budget. I really
you dig what I'm saying.
No, yeah, I really do appreciate you guys because, you know, like I said, you guys bring the best out of me. There's a lot of stuff that I will always be grateful for, and a lot of stuff that I feel like I always need to be uplifted for because, you know, sometimes we're our own worst enemy, and I happen to be my own worst enemy. There's no bigger competition than yourself, and I think having to fight myself in the mirror every day to step up and be better, it's nice to have that verbal push. Yeah. And sometimes physical, a little bump from you guys, you know, to be pushed forward. But yeah, I'm thankful to be here once again. My name is Ricky. Go by Ricky the Strategist on Instagram.
Pretty Ricky, what they call
AKA the 510 Shooter. You can find me on all platforms, and you know, I'm excited for the future. I'm ready to continue building, not just with them, but with you guys. Whatever you guys got for me out there, I'm ready to work. You know, I do it all. Yeah. Maternity shoots, family shoots, birthday parties, events, weddings, quinceañeras, debuts. We got what else? Boxing matches, baseball games, football games, all of the above.
Business events, everything.
If it needs to be captured, let me tell the story because I will tell it right.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys know what time it is. Like, follow, and subscribe. Make sure you leave us a message. If you know this guy, leave us some comments for sure.
Yeah, dog. Oh, you in trouble now. Hey, everybody, this is Danny,
Angel,
and
Ricky.
The Roots of Ambition podcast. Burn the shoes. We out.
Let's go.
Let's go.